NBC 10 News starts now.
Right now on NBC 10, we have a live update on the DC 33 strike in Philadelphia. The mayor is giving a briefing from the Fire Administration building in Northern Liberties. She's just walked into the building, and we are waiting for her to start her briefing. We do know that the president of the union said today that the two sides are still very, very far apart. There are 9,000 municipal city workers who are now on strike. Let's listen.
As you all know, District Council 33 remains on strike. They walked away from the negotiating table just before midnight on Monday, June 30th. The city of Philadelphia put its best offer on the table, and unfortunately, District Council 33 did not accept it. This is the second day of the work stoppage. However, a new element that I'm pleased to report is that our negotiating team, led by my Chief Deputy Mayor, Sincere Harris, and other senior officials, have returned to the negotiating table with District Council 33 this afternoon. I want you all to know that the City of Philadelphia remains committed to reaching a fair and fiscally responsible contract with our municipal workers who are members of District Council 33. In the meantime, we are laser focused on providing the essential services that our tax-paying residents need and deserve here in our city. Public health and safety remains our #1 priority. And on today, you're going to hear from our Managing Director, Adam Teal, our City Solicitor, Renee Garcia, our Police Commissioner, Bethel, and our Sanitation Commissioner, Crystal Jacobs Shipman, and they are going to give you an update on all of the services that our workforce continues to deliver for the people of Philadelphia despite this work stoppage. I need you to remember that in cases of emergencies, please call 911, and for additional city services, call 311. Before I turn things over to our subject matter experts, let me address several important developments in terms of service delivery to our citizens. Legal challenges. Again, you're going to hear a more detailed update from Solicitor Garcia in a few minutes, but I want to speak broadly to the men and women of District Council 33. I deeply respect your right to organize, to be members of this proud union, and yes, even your right to strike as well. I am unapologetically a pro-labor, pro-union, and pro-worker mayor, have been my entire career. I always have been, and I always will be. But the city has a right. The people expect, and we have a duty to deliver services to our citizens. And that is why we've had to go to the courts and seek and obtain injunctions to enable us to deliver those services. In order to deliver services to the people, we have had to go to the courts seeking injunctions. Solicitor Garcia, she's going to explain what that means and some additional legal developments in this evolving situation in a few minutes. However, as it relates to child care services, because on today, I started getting more people reaching out about child care services. And you're going to hear from our Chief Deputy Mayor, Vanessa Garrett Harley, in a few minutes. But let me assure the residents and the families of Philadelphia that city services for our children are ongoing and continuing throughout this work stoppage. PAL centers remain open for children across the city of Philadelphia. We have 6 SERPs. Those are our community evening resource centers. They are open from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m., 7 days a week, and they remain open. Chief Deputy Mayor Vanessa Garrett Harley has more information for you, but it's important to me that you know that these programs are still operating and they will not stop servicing our young people because of this work stoppage. The children of the city of Philadelphia are clearly our future, and we remain laser focused on delivering for them. You're also going to hear today from our sanitation commissioner, Crystal Jacob Shipman, and she's going to give you a detailed update so that you can know how things are going with helping our residents deliver their trash to one of our 63 neighborhood drop-off locations that we've set up across the city of Philadelphia. We also have 6 sanitation centers that residents can take their trash to as well. But I want to remind the people of Philadelphia about a few key pieces of information. Remember, there is no residential trash collection due to the strike. So please don't put your trash out at the curb. You can go online at phila.gov/sanitation, or you can always call 311. Those are 2 places you can go to learn where the closest drop-off site is to your residence. Take your trash there on your regularly scheduled trash collection day. Now, before I close, I want to say this, and you're going to hear from the others. I want to say several things to the people of Philadelphia and the men and women of District Council 33. I want to walk you, Philadelphia, because every chance I get, I'm going to remind you about the offer that the city of Philadelphia put on the table. The hardworking members of District Council 33 deserved an historic offer, and that is what we did. It equated to a 4-year pay increase over my first term that totals over 13%. 4 years, 1 term. Pay increase of over 13%. That's more than any mayor has delivered for District Council 33 in 30 years. It may not matter to some, but it matters to me. If you're going to be pro-worker, pro-labor, and pro-union, it has to matter in people's pocketbooks and in the quality of life that they live as municipal workers and residents here in the city of Philadelphia. And I'm proud that the offer we put on the table represents that kind of equity. Why? Because they deserved a fair and fiscally responsible offer on behalf of our city, and we are proud to have put that on the table. In addition to that historic offer, it's important to remember that an expansion of District Council 33's pay plan to offer, again, what we refer to as a 5th step. What does that mean? No, you shouldn't come into District Council 33 and immediately hit a ceiling that doesn't allow you to climb a little higher, giving you the benefit to earn more when you've been here a civil servant working hard for many years. That's access to economic opportunity for all, and that's what that 5th step represented to us. Finally, this is something that I haven't mentioned quite often during these conversations, and that is our municipal pension system and our fund. By 2033, the city of Philadelphia is on track. After years of very careful fiscal stewardship that I am very proud to have been a part of long before I became the mayor, long before I became a member of city council, during my tenure as a state representative and chair of the Philadelphia delegation in the Pennsylvania House, that I am proud that we are going to see our municipal pension fund 100% fully funded. That means retirement income security for the men and women of District Council 33 and, quite frankly, all of our municipal unions. And once we do reach that 100% funding of our municipal pension fund, it will free up hundreds of millions of dollars that the city can use to deliver more services to the people of Philadelphia, and that includes every municipal worker who lives and works in the city of Philadelphia. Our defined benefit pension is something that is a thing of the past in many other jurisdictions. But I am very proud of the fact that here in the city of Philadelphia, after you've worked the requisite number of years and you get vested with the city of Philadelphia, we guarantee you an income for life. Not through a DC plan, a defined contribution plan, but a defined benefit plan right here in the city of Philadelphia. I'm proud of it. I will always fight for retirement security for our municipal workforce, and it is a very important element that I have to make sure that Philadelphians don't forget is a valuable part of the package. We're now going to hear from our managing director, then our solicitor, our police commissioner, Bethel, Deputy Mayor Vanessa Garrett Harley, and we're going to close with our sanitation commissioner, Crystal Jacob Shipman, in that order.
Good afternoon. You know, I've had the pleasure to work alongside Mayor Parker for the past decade, and I know many of you have had longer experience with her, and I know many of our media colleagues and our union colleagues have had even more experience working with her. I think it's very obvious how painful this situation is for Mayor Parker and, frankly, for all of us. None of us like the situation that we are in. None of us. We appreciate our DC 33 brothers and sisters. We want them back working alongside us. We need them back working alongside us. We need them to accept this fair and fiscally responsible offer. And we have to keep doing the work 24/7, 365, because the work doesn't stop, and the work hasn't stopped. We have continued to staff our emergency operations center around the clock. We have continued to answer and respond to thousands of emergency incidents, emergency calls of all types. We have continued to provide all of our critical lifeline services, and we have continued to provide child care services, recreation services, pools, and everything else that we can do under these constraints since 2 days ago. And we are going to keep doing that. Even though we don't like this situation, we have no choice. It is our duty, it is our obligation. As much as it's painful for us, we are going to get it done to the best of our ability. We need your help. We need our residents, businesses, and visitors to help us, help you, to help your neighbors, to help others, and heeding the advice and the guidance, and certainly understanding the situation that we are all in. It remains even more difficult for us to provide some of these services when we continue to have access challenges and other issues. So I'm going to turn it over to our city solicitor to talk about the good news, some of the injunctive relief that we have. And again, we are thrilled to have hundreds of our DC 33 colleagues back at our sides in our dispatch centers and our water treatment plants. And there is more work to do. City solicitor.
Thank you, Director Renee Garcia, City Solicitor. As the mayor said, we filed 3 injunctions yesterday and received relief on each of them. The first, we sought to compel essential water employees back to our facilities. Making clean water is the most important thing we can do in this city. Without clean water, we have a health emergency. We were able to get 72 employees ordered back to the facilities. The second was to bring back essential 911 dispatchers for both police and fire. As you know, is another critical service in the city, especially during these times when there is a lot of disruption going around the city. We have to be able to take those calls, and we were able to get the court to order 237 dispatchers back. The third injunction was for illegal picketing activity. We saw a lot of activity yesterday that was not just picketers exercising their First Amendment rights. They were preventing our employees from getting into buildings. They were harassing our employees, harassing our residents, blocking access to health centers, to libraries, to recreation centers, to sanitation centers across the city, to our water facilities. we were able to get an injunction on this third motion as well. Since this order went into effect, the city has received numerous reports of noncompliance. Starting this morning, we have been working with our police and our partners at the sheriff's office, to do as much as we can to mitigate the illegal activities that we have seen. But they have not stopped. And Mayor, we were patient this morning, and we worked through the union, and we chalked it up to maybe everybody doesn't have the information.
Yes.
But it's been almost 24 hours now. And the kind of things that we are dealing with are jammed locks at health centers. We couldn't get our doctors into the health centers today. Opening fire hydrants. Yesterday they were slashing tires on trucks. Preventing trash drop-offs. We have residents going to drop off their trash and they're getting harassed on their way. Preventing workers from getting into our water facilities. We were supposed to have a shift change at one of our facilities. The next crew was blocked from going in. They're blocking trucks from delivering chemicals to our water facilities. At one location where we had employees locked inside, they shut off the water to this building from the outside and then parked their car over the valve. Okay? This is not legal activity. This is in violation of injunctions. It needs to stop. Just 2 hours ago, at one of our sanitation centers, they breached the fence. They came in and they started taking trash from dumpsters and compactors and throwing it on the floor. Now, we're beyond disrespect. This is disgraceful. It is illegal. And it needs to stop now. I'm going to bring up the police commissioner now to talk more about their efforts. We're thankful to both of our police and sheriff, but they are running around the city dealing with protesters who've been asked to move along and they go right back. And this is putting a strain on our resources, and we're going to have the police commissioner talk about what's going on with our police department.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, for your leadership. Thank you, City Solicitor. So we again, I'll start with as you heard, the injunction was filed yesterday. Working with Commissioner Stamps, First Deputy, we were able to get our dispatchers and call takers back on station overnight. That was a significant compliment to our workforce. That has enabled us. So we had, as I may have shared earlier, we had to compress our bands from 14 bands citywide to 7 to meet the challenges we faced. We're now back at full operations. And so we're grateful for the injunction that was, but we're also grateful for those men and women from District Council 33 who have done that work. Yesterday, we began our operational process working with Sheriff Bilal and her team to put together a team to start enforcing the injunctions, which we had engaged this morning around 7:30 a.m. We, in collaboration with the City Solicitor and the Sheriff's Department, have been moving methodically across the city to address many of the issues around the violations of the injunctions and what is necessary to do that. We do recognize, as the City Solicitor and others have indicated, we're still seeing countless violations across the city. We will continue our cadence to address those issues. We do, as we said, and I think the mayor and others have said, we respect the men and women of District Council 33. But what we cannot respect is when they violate the law and engage in activity of vandalism and other activity that causes harm, as I said yesterday. We will continue in our enforcement posture throughout this whole process. But we will again tell our men and women from District Council 33 that it is unacceptable if you continue to engage in vandalism. We are investigating all of those incidents of vandalism. As you know, we did make an arrest the other day. We will continue to look through those activities and ensure that people are in compliance. We will, again, respect them where they stand, respect their work. We will just ask them that they would continue to respect the work that we're doing to bring resolution to this issue and make sure this is a safe process. I'll now turn it over to Mayor Vanessa Garrett-Harlow.
Good afternoon, everyone. With all that's going on, it's of critical importance that we continue to focus on ensuring that our city's children and youth have a safe, positive, and fun activity to do this summer. There is a huge array of activities across the city of Philadelphia for our children and youth to engage in, and everything is moving forward as planned. Let me say that again. there are none of the programs, or very, very few of them may be impacted, that your children should go to. So you should continue with your plans as they have been. For example, we have our PAL centers. They are open to the public for drop-in hours on Mondays and Fridays from 8 to 4 p.m., Thursdays 4 to 8 p.m., and Saturdays 1 to 9 p.m. For availability on any other day and time, please call your PAL center directly. Those locations and phone numbers can be found at phillypal.org/locations. We also, as you heard the mayor say, have 6 community evening resource centers, or CERCs as we call them. They are located throughout the city. They're open for some critical hours from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. are classic times that often we see folks get in trouble or don't have a safe place to go. So we want to encourage our young people to go there. These centers offer the opportunity for our kids to do everything from sports to photography to gaming sessions, cooking, yoga, and a number of other opportunities. In the Central Division, I-Day is the CERC on North Broad Street. In Northwest is the Juvenile Justice Center up on Coulter Street. In the Northeast is Unique Dreams. In the South, or South Philly, is the Greater Philadelphia Community Alliance, GPCA. In Southwest Philadelphia is the Community of Compassion on Cedar Avenue. And in the East District is Siente on Masher Street. So all of those locations are open every day, 7 days a week, from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. We also have an array of summer programs that are offered by our community-based providers. Those programs can be accessed at a program locator in which you can go in, put in your address or the location you're closest to, and it will come up with a myriad of programs that may be available to you and your family at phila.gov/OST/program-locator. Please be sure to contact the provider directly if you need to check anything different on availability. I also want to reiterate that our Parks and Recreation are moving forward as planned. Summer camps will be opening as scheduled on Monday. Summer camps will be open, and all of those young people that are registered for those camps should attend as normal. There are a few slots still available should somebody be looking for a summer camp opportunity for their young people, so they should check the local recreation center to check their availability. But there will be 25 pools that will remain open that our young people can utilize for some safe and fun cooling off activities, and all of the spray grounds that were scheduled to open across the city and all of the neighborhoods will continue to be open as they have been. And if you're looking for some support or you need other prevention type services for your child, your youth, or for a family, I encourage you to call 215-683-4347, or that's 683-4DHS. There's a myriad of prevention programs that we can provide services to children and families. As I close, I just want to reiterate that despite everything that is going on in the city, and it may seem a little chaotic right now, it's vitally important to remember our children and youth that are the nucleus of the city. We need them to be safe. We need them to be positively and actively engaged. Please check out all of the activities that we have available across the city for them. Thank you.
Good afternoon. The Department of Sanitation, as Mayor Parker mentioned, provides over 60 locations for residents to bring their trash and their materials, including our sanitation convenience centers. The department is actively monitoring the dumpster locations throughout the city and working to increase capacity as we can. Dumpsters are being serviced multiple times a day. Vendors are replacing full containers with empty ones in order to meet the needs for the capacity. Vendors are navigating challenges such as traffic, tight streets, as you know, in our city, limited parking, which has caused and may cause occasional delays in swapping out those dumpsters. Overflow piles that accumulate near dumpsters are being addressed separately. Our crews are working throughout the day to remove those piles as quickly and efficiently as they can. Staff are continuously assessing the volume and capacity at each site and will relocate dumpsters as necessary based on demands. This is a fluid and ever-evolving situation. We are responding in real time, troubleshooting in real time to ensure that our residents have access to safe and clean sites as best as we can. We urge all residents, as Mayor Parker mentioned, do not place your trash and recycling out on the curb for collection. Avoid illegal dumping. That does continue to create a strain on the limited resources we do have. The Sanitation Convenience Center at Delaware and Weesheaf is now available and accessible to the public without any entry challenges. And we've listened to our residents. We've heard the concerns. Where there are dumpsters that are ill-placed, we are working in real time to relocate those. So do continue to give us that information so that we can respond as quickly as we can. To keep updated on those dumpster locations, when we have had to relocate a dumpster, you do need to go to phila.gov/sanitation. You can also call 311. They'll be able to give you the exact location of those dumpsters. We do thank you for your continued patience and cooperation as we work through these changes.
As you've heard from everybody, this remains a very dynamic situation, and we are managing services in real time. You can always go to www.phila.gov/work-stoppage. That's phila.gov/work-stoppage is the blog with all of these service updates that are being updated 24/7, 365.
In closing, let me just say to the people of our great city of Philadelphia.
You've been listening to the city's latest update on the DC 33 strike. Both sides are back at the bargaining table right now. You can count on NBC 10 for continuing coverage as this story unfolds. Right now on NBC10.com, we have a live blog with the latest updates, plus an interactive map with all the trash drop-off sites in the city. I'm Tracy Davidson. We will have team coverage on this story coming up on NBC 10 News at 4.